This video is for Theme Control and Sensing Unit Scratch It, and this is video 6. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add more sprites to your game. With those sprites, we will then perform more scripts and more actions to make our game more interactive. So, before I go any further, what I want to do is, because of this script that we added in the previous video, you can see that our sprite is actually rotated and is no longer facing flat. To sort that out, what you need to do is you need to right click on the actual sprite on the stage, like that, and then you need to rotate this sprite. So click on that, and you'll see this little circular arrow. Click on the circular arrow and drag around to rotate the sprite so that it's facing the correct direction, like that. And now what I can do is I can click off of that so the circle disappears, and then I can move my sprite back to the position where I want it. Now, this script that we wrote previously was just a testing script, just a little bit of fun. For this next activity, I actually don't want this script anymore. So what I'm going to do is I can do one of two things. If I want to keep this script because I might want to use it later, I can just break away the forever loop from top command, like that. So that when I actually press the green flag, nothing happens because this script is not attached to this command. So if I just show you, click on the green flag, nothing happens because this script has nothing to run. So if you want to keep the script for later, you can do that. If you don't, and you actually want to get rid of it all, you can just drag it across over here and it will delete that script from the sprite. So, like I said, what we want to do in this video tutorial is to create more sprites, so that we're going to have this sprite, the cat, interacting with another sprite. So, to add a new sprite, I need to look down here where it says New Sprite. And if I scroll my mouse over these buttons, you can see that this one will allow me to paint a new sprite, this one will allow me to choose new sprite from a file, and this one will allow me to get a surprise sprite. And you can play around with these buttons to see what they do. For example, if I click the Get a Surprise Sprite, it randomly puts in a surprise sprite. So these are characters that are already built into the software. Now, I don't actually want to use this boy in my game, but I could do if I wanted to. So you can keep pressing these buttons to see what surprise sprites you get. Okay, so if you keep clicking it, you'll just get random objects on your screen. Now, you'll notice that when you create a sprite, it automatically appears on your stage. We're going to resolve that later on, but for now, I'm just going to delete these sprites because I don't want to use them, but you can use those ones if you want to. I'm going to right click on the sprite in the window, and I'm going to delete, and that will get rid of the sprite. I'm just going to do that for these ones as well. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add my own sprite that I'm going to draw, and then I'm going to add a sprite that I'm going to find from the internet. So I'm going to start by clicking on the Paint New Sprite, and in here I'm just going to draw a shape that I'm going to use in my game. So I'm actually going to try and draw a star shape. I'm going to try my best carefully to draw a star, like that, and then I'm going to fill it in, and that's fine for me. That's going to be my star sprite. So I press OK, and you'll notice as soon as that sprite comes in, it automatically goes on my stage. I can move that around here if I want to. I actually don't want the star to be that big, so I've taught you before that what you could do is you could click on the sprite, go to the costume, go to Edit, and then you can use this button here to shrink the star. I'm just going to show you another method that you can use. If I press OK there, if I want to shrink it and I don't want to go through all of this process of going to the costume, what I can actually do is I can use these buttons up here. So this one is the same button, Shrink Sprite. If I click on that button, move the cursor over to the sprite that I want to shrink and start clicking on it, it will shrink it for me, like that. I then need to make sure that once I've done with this cursor, I click off of it. So I just click anywhere up here and it'll take that cursor off. So I'll take that tool off. I'm going to put this star over here. So I've created my own sprite by painting it. I now want to import a sprite that I've gathered from the internet. Before I do that, I'm actually going to go and get the picture on the internet. So I'm going to open up a web browser and go to Google. And what I want to do is I want to perform an image search up here. And I'm going to search for milk. Press enter. Now, because it's a cat in my game, I want the cat to be able to collect some milk. So I find an appropriate milk picture that I want to use. I actually like this one. So I'm going to click on that milk picture once. Click on see full size image up here. And then I'm going to save this image. To do that, I'm going to right click on it and save image as. It'll ask me where I want to save it, and to keep things simple, I'm just going to save it on my desktop, and I'm going to leave it called milk carton and press save. There we go, and that's downloaded that picture. So now I've actually got my picture from the internet. I can go back to Scratch, click on this choose new sprite from file, and because I saved it on my desktop, I can click on desktop here. All the files on my desktop will come up. I can scroll down, and there's my milk carton. Click on that, press OK. You can see that it's put the sprite in my sprites panel down here, and automatically it's put it on my screen. Now you can see two things with this image that I don't like. The first thing is that it's too big, so I can shrink it. But the other thing that I don't like is that it's got this white edge around it, and really all I want is the milk carton. Now we can do something about that. If I click on the sprite here, go to costume, go to edit, I can actually get rid of the white. And the way I do that is I'm just going to zoom out so I can see it all. I then get my fill tool, and I don't choose a color. I choose the transparency, which is this one down here, this little box here with the gray and white little boxes inside it. Click on that, and now when I click on the white areas around the edge, it will actually turn them into transparent parts of the picture. Make sure I get them all. Whilst I'm here, I might as well just shrink the image. Like that, press OK. And now you can see that the white surrounding area is gone, and I've shrunk my image. I'm going to move that over here, and I'm going to shrink it a little bit more by using this tool. So it's all in proportion. What I mean by proportion is I don't want my milk carton being bigger than my cat. Okay, so that's roughly around about the right size that I want. So now you can see that I've actually got 3 sprites. Oh, I'll just click off of this tool. I've now got 3 sprites that are in my game. So if I click on sprite 1, which is my cat, you can see the costumes come up and the scripts come up. If I click on my sprite 2, which is my star, this sprite has no scripts, and if I go to costumes, it just has the one costume. If I click on sprite 3, this has just the white costume and no scripts. And what I'm going to do in order to make my game more interactive is I'm actually going to start adding some scripts to these objects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on sprite 2, and you can see that sprite 2 has been selected up here. Now if I want to, I can actually rename these. For example, sprite 2 isn't really very helpful, so I could actually call this star. To do that, I just click up here, press the backspace key on my keyboard, and I can just type in what I want to call it. So this one I'm going to call star. If I click anywhere on here, you can see that it now changes the name of that sprite to star. I'm going to do that for my milk carton as well. And I'm actually also going to do it for sprite 1. And I'm going to call him cat. There we go. Now I've given my sprite sensible names. So I'm going to go back to the star sprite. And on the scripts here, what I'm going to do is, what I want to happen is when this cat touches this star, I want the star to disappear. So it's as if the cat is collecting the star. So let me break that down. Remember, put it into nice simple terms what it is you want to do. I want to say on this star, when the cat touches me, hide me. Okay, so let me break it down even further. When the sprite cat touches me, hide me. And that's as simple as I can put it. So now I've got that in my head, I now need to figure out what controls or what instructions I need to use to make that happen. Okay, so I'm on the star, I'm on the script. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a control command that says when the green flag is clicked. When the green flag is clicked. What I want to do is, if I go to looks, I want to hide me. So I am the star, when the flag is clicked, hide. But I don't want to do it straight away. If I do that, that means as soon as I click this, hide me. And that's not what I want to do. I need to check that when I click this button, if the cat is touching me, then hide me. So how can I do that? Let's have a look at sensing, because I want to sense that something is touching me. So here we go. This could say, when green flag clicked, touching, there we go, look, we can say touching the cat, hide. Now you can see I've got a problem though, because I can't join these together. Now does this sentence make sense? When green flag clicked, touching cat, hide. No, it doesn't make sense, does it? I need a word here. This would make sense. When green flag clicked, if touching cat, hide. Does that make sense? That does make sense, doesn't it? So press Control, and I've actually got an if statement here, look. So if I put this here, and then put this inside here, and then put this here, that now makes sense. When the green flag is clicked, if I'm touching the cat, remember I'm the star. When green flag clicked, if I'm touching the cat, hide me. Now then, will that work? I don't think it will. Let's test it. I click my green flag. Now the star is there because the cat isn't touching it. If I move my cat over to the star, it should go. No, it doesn't. Why do you think that is? Well, the reason is, if you remember back to the other videos, I said that when I click this green flag, that script will run, but it will only run once. It will run as soon as I click that green flag. So if the cat isn't touching the star when I click the green flag, then it won't hide me. What I actually need to do is I'm going to take these bits out of here, and instead of using an if, I'm going to drag that away. What I should have done is used a forever if, and then put these in here. So this now says, when that green flag is clicked, forever, always, 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 if I'm touching the cat, hide me. Now this should work, because it should always be checking if I, the star, am touching the cat. Okay, press the green flag, and let's have a look. And you can see it's always running it because it's outlined it in white. If I move my cat towards the star, it's always checking if I'm touching the cat. And there you go. As soon as I touch the cat, it hides me. And there we go. We've built our interactive game just by using this simple script. I'm going to press stop. Now the problem that you'll notice is, I'm just going to put this over here, is that when I press the green flag again, the star's disappeared. That's because what I need to do is I need to say, right, when I click this green flag, the first thing I need to do is show the star, because I've already hidden it here. Does that make sense? So I need to add another control that says, when I click the green flag, first of all, looks, show. So first of all, when I click the green flag, show me. Then, if I'm touching the cat, hide me. So let's test it. Click the green flag, it shows. Move the cat towards the star, it hides. There we go. Now we've got an interactive game. In the next video, we'll do something with the milk carton as well.